Once upon a time, in the Dravinian hinterlands, the Illuminati start being bad little goblins again. Sid and Y'shtola talk with a group of goblins outside of Idyllshire about the Illuminati causing trouble in the area. While having this conversation, lo and behold, a giant machine emerges from the lake nearby and sets its foot on the shore. It would seem the Illuminati have moved on from stealing cheese recipes to the more ambitious goal of taking over the world. Whoa, I can see why they called us in. This thing is huge! Did Alphinaud say much about what is going on?
No, he just said that there was trouble with the Illuminati and we needed to meet with Slowfix.
Hey, what's this on the ground? It's an old journal.
An old journal? Out here? Yes. Oh. Fascinating. Appears to be a journal of different fight strategies. The title of the book is Alexander Raid Guides. His first entry details about how to defeat the Oppressor. What is that?
Alexander. I wonder what that is. Never heard of the Oppressor before either.
Oh hey, Alphinaud sent us a message just now. It says Y'shtola will be joining us in Idyllshire about... wow, primals.
Another one? Do you think this raid guide has anything to do with this?
Not out of the realm of possibility. There's a lot more written about other things to fight as well as how to defeat them. Let's talk with Y'shtola and hold on to this journal for now. Maybe it'll help out in this quest. So we meet with Y'shtola and she warns us that the large machine that arose in the lake is surely a primal. Like Bahamut, this primal is draining the land of its ether at a rapid rate. Y'shtola proposes that we work to defeat it in combat while she talks with Master Matoya to see if they can cut off the flow of aether that is sustaining it. We head back over to the big primal where Sid and Baxtrix are waiting for us. They tell us that the Illuminati are likely behind the summoning of this primal. The Illuminati are a group of fanatics that want sole ownership of all the world's technology. The machine in the lake used to be a Sharlayan defense system for the colony. However, it has since been given a new form as a hulk to host a primal. As for disabling it, we'd first need to get through another bloody barrier. The barrier is only 3 years old, leaving us to wonder if there was a failed summoning back then.
We join Biggs and Wedge at the edge of the barrier where the machine's hand is exposed. Wedge is listening in on the Illuminati's link pearl, but it's encoded. Using a borrowed rock from our Gabi friend, we build a device to decode the messages. Even the decoded message is a riddle, but thankfully, a treasure hunter Maid was tailing us this whole time and wants in on the mission. She can help us get inside, so long as she can take a certain something in there. A quick code cracking session and we're in. Phase, it's the Oppressor from the raid guide.
Oh my. Really?
What's it say?
There's references to laser beams we need to dodge, nukes we have to minimize, and a cloned oppressor?
Okay, sounds like we have a plan at least.
There's a big hit called Gunnery Pod, says we need to shield and heal as necessary.
But we don't have a healer.
Oh, and if we don't kill the two oppressors at the same time, they self-destruct, which will most definitely kill us.
Oh.
Got it all? Let's pull. After defeating the Oppressor, Maid and Roundrox join us in hopes of getting a cut of the loot. Suddenly we are visited by none other than Quick Thinks All Thoughts, Master of the Illuminati, and his gaggle of goblins. One of his Gabi followers mentions the Enigma Codex is missing and that the Alexander Initiative has begun. Maid shoots up the Gabis and suggests now would be a good time to head back to camp. We talk with Biggs to let him know that we're all safe, and we had a run-in with Quick Thinks All Thoughts. Biggs would like us to take another attempt at finding the core, and Wedge infers from the decoded Illuminati messages that we may have started a war.
We get into a tussle with some Illuminati members and their contraptions. With the help of a Gobwalker, we easily brush them aside. Good thing this guidebook we found has instructions to pilot the mech. When our friends rejoin us, Maid confides that she is searching for the Enigma Codex. This book contains perhaps the greatest advancements in technology, including the schematics for a walking citadel. This citadel could house an entire self-sustaining utopia by which its inhabitants would never need to leave it. This ultimate creation came to be known as Alexander. Now she believes that the Illuminati wish to use it to seize control over the world and set up their rule.
Sid realizes the Illuminati are already past the barrier surrounding Alexander, so why the need for a door encoded with a message to gain entry? The answer: spies. Conveniently, we get word that a spy has entered the secret door, so we give chase. A living formation of water. How interesting. Let's see what the raid guide says. They call him the Pepsi Man. So the guide says he opens with a watery cleave on the main tank, followed by a sluice of water on the party. Wait, when did you pull the boss? After we kill the Pepsi Man, we corner the spy, but not before they can get word of the secret treasure's whereabouts to quick thinks all thoughts. Having gotten what they wanted, the Illuminati murder their own spy and share that their utopia is only meant for the elite. They turn and head back into the depths of Alexander.
Back at camp, Maya informs us that she knows how to shut down the Giant's core, but needs our help.
We face off against the Manipulator, normally a formidable foe, but with the raid guide in hand, we have a leg up.
Deep inside the Gordian knot, we find the heart of the machine. Maya deactivates it, and Quick Think stops by to gloat. Apparently, while we stopped Alexander from gathering energy, the Illuminati raided Roundrox's stash of treasures. Oh no!
While Roundrox mopes in sorrow, Sid and Biggs arrive with a thief, unconscious. All of her junk is returned, and Roundrox expresses her gratitude, especially in that the glowy rock is safe. She then holds the rock out, and a fragment of the Enigma Codex is projected up like a hologram. Of all things, the missing piece of the Codex was a rock. Roundrox gives us the glowy rock so that we may give the rock to Mide. When we meet with Mide, she tells us that only those who are worthy can read the Codex, and that she is no longer able to read it herself.
We get word from Y'shtola that Alexander is once again drawing aether from the land as the Illuminati continue to try and revive it. In order to stop them, Wedge wants to try a new invention, the Electro Jammer 3. Wedge claims the device is intended to interfere with any and all enemy comms. In a misguided belief that Lolophiles can be useful, we let Wedge start up the machine, and of course, disaster strikes. At least we now have another way in. The mad scientist, Ratfinks Twinkledinks? My goodness, who were your parents?
Quick Thinks All Thought stops by the camp to gloat that Mide was working with them all along, and she gave them the glowy rock. Then he leaves. Cool. Piecing together some information from old Charlie and Tex, we have a hunch that Mide could have been involved in an attempted summoning of Alexander 3 years ago. Hey Kat, wanna hear a joke? So a blaster, a brawler, swindler, and a vortexer walk into a bar.
FaZe, I don't want to hear your dumb joke.
Brutal. You know, interrupting me does this joke no justice. Back at camp, we find Mide, who wishes to explain everything. She says that she gave the Illuminati a fake rock, keeping the real one with her. She also admits that the claims All Thoughts made were true. She did once work with the Illuminati in teaching them how to summon Alexander.
The author of the Enigma Codex was an ancestor of Mide's tribe, and members of her tribe have long worked to realize his ideals. Mide fell in love with the leader of her tribe, Dayan, and blindly helped him and their friends attempt to summon Alexander 3 years ago. However, as soon as Alexander appeared before him, her friends were killed and her love was sucked into Alexander. Fearful of the power she had unleashed, she summoned a barrier to seal away Alexander. In that moment, the Codex was shattered and the Colossus vanished.
Left with only shards of the Codex and a broken dream, she helped the Illuminati summon Alexander so that she might see her love once again. She also reveals that 2 things are needed to gain control over Alexander, the Enigma Codex and one capable of reading it. Mide has lost the ability to read it, but we know of someone who can. Roundrox. Speaking of, Roundrox has been captured!
Methinks we cornered the baddie.
Make short work of Little Gobby.
Little Gabby hides a big machine.
Just like Raid Guide foreseen.
Back at camp, Mide explains how Alexander is sectioned into 3 parts, each powered by an independent core. We already tore up through the right arm, and we're working on the left arm. Mide suspects that Roundrox is being kept in the upper torso of Alexander, the final section.
We fight each of the 5 Power Ranger robots until they assemble the Megazord himself, Brute Justice. Get the Cat Jam memes ready. This track is fire. We approach the second core, the Maiden Knot, and disable it similar to the previous core. Suddenly, we're surrounded by the Illuminati. Biggs and Wedge distract the Gobbies while we make a break for the exit. As we ascend with Mide, Allthoughts tells us that he already knows the conclusion of Uplander's childish games. Long ago was outcome decided. As we puzzle over his strange words, the elevator suddenly malfunctions and Mide drops the true Codex fragment, landing right in front of Allthoughts. With the last piece in his hand, the Illuminati scurry back into the depths of Alexander. Interesting that after further investigation, the elevator has no signs of malfunctioning. How could he have known?
Back at camp, we discuss the events that took place. Things aren't lining up between the timelines of who's entering and exiting Alexander. How the Illuminati always conveniently show up at the most opportune times. And even how Allthoughts let us escape on the elevator, only to have the Codex fragment land in his lap.
A quick check through Y'shtola's goggles confirms it. The aether pouring from the primal is flowing backwards, as if time were passing in reverse. It may be trying to repair itself from the 2 cores we've already shut down, and it appears Alexander has some control over time itself.
Meanwhile, within Alexander, the Illuminati have successfully completed the Enigma Codex with the help of their unwilling captive, Roundrox. We have little time to act before power once again reaches the 3rd core. Mide thinks she saw Allthought's little kitty cat nearby, Shanoa. When we find the Coro, we also find an Illuminati spy. Turns out Sid and Y'shtola were actually brought to the spy's location after following this little kitty cat.
We play a game of yes and no with the cat, who apparently understands us but can't talk back. Through a series of meows, we learn that Shanoa is a familiar of Allthoughts. Baxterix remembers that Roundrox saw a black kitten when she found the glowy rock 3 years ago. Through some sort of wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey magic, the kitty cat might have taken a shortcut through time. So why is it helping us now? Too many questions and not enough time to find answers, so we make our move on Alexander.
Y'shtola plans to cut off the primal's source of aether while we head into the belly of the beast and rescue our friend. If we free Roundrox, the Enigma Codex should cease to operate and Alexander will be powerless again. Wedge uses his BBG2, that's Barrier Be Gone for all of you wondering, to take out the barrier and gain us entry into the head of Alexander. This is just an ad. Let's pull.
No, wait, let me quickly read through the guide first.
Crap, crap, crap! Help, help! Aggro!
Why does this guy hit like a truck? Alright, if I recall, the boss down there should be the Refurbisher. We exit Alexander and re-enable the barrier. As Y'shtola rejoins us, she explains how the plan to cut off Alexander's aether flow was successful, yet yielded no measurable results. Mide finally confides the last of her secrets. In her youth, a man came to her and gave her a relic, a horn that would be used in a summoning. He told her it was a gift from Travangé. And just like that, he was gone. Kids, if you're watching, don't accept gifts from strangers.
Stranger danger! Y'shtola says that she knows this man. He's an Ascian that stirred trouble near Limsilo Minsa in the days before the Calamity. She also knows of this horn. It's a lost relic with the power to manipulate vast amounts of etherical energy. It seems clear that the 3rd core of Alexander is being powered by this horn, which would explain our failure to stop it. As we get ready to head into our rescue mission, Baxterix looks up and sees Allthoughts on Alexander with another black kitty cat, Shanoa. Backrix surmises that the kitty cat with him must be a doppelganger then, and names it Schrödinger. That's it so far on the cat stuff. We'll check back later to see why any of that dialogue was relevant.
We move on into Alexander again, this time through the head. Our friends will join us through the Midas Path.
So what does the raid guy say about this next fight?
I thought you were carrying the book.
Me? You're always the one holding the book.
Well, shoot. Looks like we're going in blind.
What if we die?
Don't worry, we'll figure it out as we go. At the end of our path, we fight the Trapmaster Lamebrook Strikebox. Without the guide, we roll the dice and power our way through the battle. As we make it to the control core and rendezvous with our team, we find Roundrox in the Enigma core. Roundrox is pleased to see us and decides to take this opportunity to rejoin Mide with her long-lost lover 3 years in the past. Before we get a say in it, Roundrox takes us back into the past. However, what transpires is a mess of time travel.
Biggs, Wedge, Backrix, and the cat are on top of Alexander when we go back in time. They see Mide and her friends around the Enigma Codex as they are attempting to summon Alexander. Members of the Illuminati shoot and kill 3 of Mide's friends. Mide then attempts to put up a shield, but before she can, Dayan is sucked into Alexander.
As Backrix is writing all this down, the cat jumps at the book and it and the kitty cat fall over the edge into the past. The Mide from the past puts up a shield and Alexander teleports away back to the future! As we return to the present, the Illuminati appear and brag about always winning and how we're in a time loop. Sid guesses that what Mide saw all those years ago wasn't an actual summoning of Alexander, but just us traveling into the past instead. Sid says, "That's madness," and he's correct.
Ah yes, a time-traveling paradox. Just what I was hoping for. While we push that confusion aside, more Illuminati gobbies show up and we make a break for the exit. Maya tells us that she must stay behind though, and watches as we leave.
We take a ride on the Cruise Chaser, going forward and backward before jumping off and beating him down. With all the AoEs that go off, you really need to be careful putting even 1 foot forward. As we stare down the third and final core, it is apparent that we can't simply destroy it. The rate at which Aether is flowing into it prevents us from destroying it directly. We may need Roundrox to disable it from the central control room.
Of course, All Thoughts comes by to brag, but this time the kitty cat knocks the Book of Secrets out of his hands. Deja vu? Upon reading the book, we realize that this is Backrix's original book that was lost in the past, and is how All Thoughts has been able to follow our every move in the present. The book is blank from this point on. Time to write our own ending. All Thoughts then calls upon Alexander in desperation and is able to interact with the Enigma Codex.
As we reapproach the final core, we're frozen in time. The primal Alexander attempts to vaporize us with a protean beam, but time suddenly resumes and we dodge out of the way. We head into the distortion to fight Alexander Prime. Without a handy raid guide to show us the way, we must take destiny into our own hands and write our own future. Alexander has some tricky chronomancy at his disposal, freezing time and blasting us in every which way possible. He appears to be testing us. During the fight, we save our past selves by destroying the machines that originally caused the time freeze earlier.
With a path cleared, we break for the control room. All Thoughts attempts to take us back in time and undo our existence, but he would not get the chance. Mide reappears with gun drawn and exclaims that the future does not choose us. We choose the future. She executioner style shoots All Thoughts in the back of the head. And Roundrox then disables the final core.
Well, that escalated quickly. As we are about to leave, All Thoughts pulls some Terminator BS and starts crawling towards the Enigma Codex. Apparently, he isn't dead. He explains that his body has been heavily modified and the shot was only a flesh wound. That's right, he's a cyborg Gobby. He calls out to Alexander, but Alexander denies his plea and shatters the Enigma Codex whilst frying All Thoughts. He's dead now.
Mide calls out to Dayan. Apparently Dayan was fused into Alexander, not consumed entirely by him. As Alexander rages out of control, Mide trusts in her lost love and sacrifices herself into the machine's core. She is then rejoined with Dayan inside of Alexander. Dayan explains the multiverse of timelines he's seen, one of Illuminati rule, one of which Alexander reversed the Calamity. In the end, Alexander chose to change nothing and simply remove itself from existence. The amount of Aether required to change history into the perfect timeline would ultimately destroy the world in the process.
To protect itself, when the Illuminati tried forcing Alexander into action, it employed a clockwork coil to nudge history back onto the proper path. Our kitty cat friend was Alexander's will to guide the Warrior of Light into preserving the world and stopping the Illuminati. Alexander has chosen to trust us to protect the future. The Horn resides with Dayan and Maid in a space-time rift safe from danger.
Alexander lies dormant in the lake now, and Roundrox has the fragment again. Except this time, Roundrox can't access the secrets within. Roundrox gives the kitty cat her rock in hopes that the cat would one day free Maid and Dayan.
In the end, we read a weathered manuscript which appears to tell us that Maid and Dayan escape Alexander. Baxterix tells us that in old times, two children step out of Steel Giant and have the Enigma Codex fragment light up for them. Baxterix then goes on to tell us that the two children grow up to be man and woman who have kids and become father and mother of great people of Huggo, becoming their own ancestors. Gross.
Oh my gosh, time travel is possible.
Well, it was. Alexander is out of commission now.
No. I have a new idea. I just crafted this flux capacitor, and the recipe says if we ride a chocobo at 88 miles per hour, we should be able to travel through time.
Well, I did always want to visit the 5th Astral Era during the War of White and Black Magic.
Why is that?
I want to learn Void Magic, which was apparently lost along with the Void Ark.
Alright, let's see if this chocobo can travel through time.
Oh, my leg! Be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe down below.
What did you enjoy or not enjoy about the Alexander Raid series? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.